Thank you for having me today, Commissioner Eric Arroyo. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration, for allowing me to interview you. I want people to see a bigger picture, for a better purpose. My goal is to bring peace to Sarasota, locally, to you, to your team, and to spread peace and light outwards. You've been a particular inspiration in my life, and I wanted to emulate you someday.
Well, it's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Again, thank you for your time, and I appreciate you. Well, the first question, I just wrote this morning because I realized that Kyle's the new mayor. How do you feel as Kyle? Okay, how do you feel as Kyle Battier, as new mayor of Sarasota, and do you entrust in him?
Of course, 100%. You know, when I was mayor, he was my vice mayor.
Yeah.
And you know, towards the end of my tenure there, I ended up, you know, I had a child. I was 6-month-old, and I have a 2.5-year-old. But he was he was my vice mayor. He was going to all my events. And so he really stood up, you know, and kind of carried the torch during the times that I couldn't. And he's always been an amazing leader and a partner, and so yeah, absolutely.
Phenomenal, outstanding. Kyle's always been a good, real positive inspiration everywhere I saw him.
Yeah, so much experience too. I mean,
Really?
just life experience, and has overcome so much inspiration.
That's huge, and we need that more in the world. People overcoming odds. Do you currently have any short-term or mid-term or long-term goals for Sarasota?
Too many.
Too many?
How much time do you have? I literally, you know, I have a list. I have a very long list.
Anything on a larger scale? Anything on a larger scale, like nationwide or anything?
My plan is to make Sarasota the best city in the nation.
Yeah.
Or in the world.
Sure.
You know, so plans include modernizing our utility system so that we incorporate artificial intelligence. We already have adopted artificial intelligence into these traffic lights that are coming into town. We need to modernize the way that we handle billing in terms of inner city procedures, like billing for parking, billing for utilities, and parking permits.
Oh yeah.
You know, we are constantly trying to attract new talent, so addressing workforce housing and making us sort of be the role model, you know, the blueprint for how workforce housing is handled in America. I think that would be a great honor.
Sure.
We are, you know, numerous initiatives to allow for, you know, preservation of more properties for people who want that, and the preservation of more trees for people who want that. This commission, and over the past few years, we've preserved more green space than any other commission in the history. We put a conservation easement into Bobby Jones, the golf course, and it's going to be a park now, and it'll be 262 acres that are never going to be developed in perpetuity. It's kind of like our little central park there.
Nice.
We're working on a project now to redo the alleys. We are, you know, working on a $300 million park on the bay. We are working on a potential performing arts center on the bay. We are, you know, just trying to increase the quality of life of our residents, allowing them to express themselves via text message, emails, come to the meetings, submit a video for the meeting, submit a voice text to the meeting. Appear via Zoom, you know, just so many things that in the future I think you'll be able to hopefully tell Alexa, like, hey, Alexa, tell the city that I oppose this, and it's that level of interaction.
Sure. I think that's brilliant.
So yeah, we're trying to fix roundabouts, you know, provide more bus benches and shelter. We just did move forward with a killing shelter ban, so no more animal killing shelters in the city.
Good.
We are trying to you know, address homelessness.
Yes.
And that is done by providing, you know, we have an array of services, and we're just trying to provide the individuals that need these services with these services in the best way possible, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to be a caring community. We're trying to be a fair community by giving them access to all the services and resources that they could potentially have to get them back on their feet.
Yeah.
Or if some individuals will never be able to get back on their feet, we give them the resources that they need in order to at least be maintained,
Right.
and not have to sleep in alleys or defecate
Right.
themselves or get arrested or any of those things that come as a byproduct of living that lifestyle.
Yeah. One of my goals is to open up a center someday, try and get grant money or something, where I could open up a center where homeless people can be allowed to, maybe pay a nickel, a penny, a quarter to get in, or even more wealthy people can have a donation of whatever amount. But my goal is to open up a healthy center, maybe even here in Sarasota, and allow people to have learning facilities to where they can learn a higher value system, more morale, and have better character and respect for their fellow neighbor. And I also want to see an alliance, not necessarily an alliance, but almost like an agree to disagree, with the police force and with the streets, if you will. I want to see it handled with love, or with care, or compassion, rather than with discrimination or hate or racism or anything like that. And I see a change. I feel a change.
And
Which is beautiful.
the city of
for a lot of
Sarasota,
the people in the streets.
yeah, and our chief of police, who
In the
has,
cities.
our chief of police has been with the police department for over 20 years. He grew up, went through the ranks, and rose to the position that he's in.
Sure.
And that is one of our priorities. It's always being one with the community.
Yeah.
So anytime anything national happens where it includes some wrongdoing by some police officer somewhere, we always issue a statement that we condemn that type of behavior, that we don't do that here, that we take extra training here. We
Sure.
also have the body cameras here.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the number of times I've seen our police officers playing basketball with kids in neighborhoods, or it's always, there is always a level of caring and professionalism and community when it comes to going about the duties of their job.
Yeah, doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very aware of that, and even other counties helping the city, helping homeless people, I saw this morning actually, when I was sitting in the office before coming in here, I forget which county it was, but the police sheriff's office was helping prisoners, overcome reform, or prisons and reform. But nevertheless, I see a lot of alliances and a lot of building with the police systems and forces, going into the community and helping out on a more personal level. And I think that's huge. I would love to see that. I think that would personally affect big change, nationwide even. My vision was, it's starting here in Sarasota. Why not? And then spreading outwards, and I know other communities are doing programs like that as well. And I just want to see it spread the love and agree to disagree and do things the right way and help others as we go along. We're only human. You did address it already, helping the idea of homelessness in the community. Megan Howell, she does a great job.
Yes, she does.
Second Heart Homes.
She does. She does an amazing job.
And she housed people with mental illnesses as well. And truly, I've been diagnosed with a few mental illnesses, if you will, they're just chemical imbalances.
Mm-hmm.
But they're things that can be overcome.
Absolutely.
And that's the message I want to share with people, or I want you to share with people, or Kyle to share with people, that these challenges can be overcome.
Absolutely.
And it's just a matter, so much of it is just a matter of mind over matter and having some knowledge base. And I want to build resources to have a knowledge base and a foundation to educate.
There is a charity in town called Operation Warrior Resolution.
Yes, I know, Kendra Sipkin.
Yeah, and Kendra, and she's another one, right? It's something that can be overcome. It's not
Yes.
she Warrior Resolution. The name came because she tries to take you through that process, and it is something that can be overcome, and you can arrive at a resolution.
Right. That's really healthy, and I would like to align with her in the future.
It is awesome. There's so many amazing, talented people in this community.
Yeah, it's great, and so many people are helping out, giving back to the community, giving back to society, or people who might be in need. If you had one or two messages for the youth, what would it be?
It would be that again. I mean, challenges and things that we go through and circumstances that we're born in don't define us.
Sure.
Anything can be overcome.
Yeah.
Everybody has their story, and just remember that don't use the things that happen to you or the things you're born into as excuses, but use them as things that make you stronger and can help you overcome everything.
Yes.
Any challenges that life throws your way.
That's a great, beautiful message. If you had a message for inner cities, what would it be? More so Newtown area, communities, lower income areas. If you had a message for them to strive to try and meet halfway.
To get involved.
Get involved.
You know,
Yes.
that is the one thing I find that, you know, it's kind of like the greasy wheel gets the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the people that get their projects and the people that are involved usually have their voices heard.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people in downtown, the waterfront that do that, and we need people. I live on the outskirts of town. I live in District 3, and it's something I'm trying to encourage over there. Just to, you know, that's how we get more attention to the needs of those communities. Basically, you have to speak up and be represented in order to be heard.
Sure, understandably. Question is, if you had short, middle, and long-term goals, we can skip this question. I'm just gonna go to the next one. If you had two messages, and I'm sure I'm not gonna skip this one, because it says you had two messages or one message for the homeless, what would it be? And I already know the answer to that, which would be partake, jump up, get involved, whether it's the Salvation Army.
You know, there's a saying in Sarasota that if you're homeless, it's by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
we have so many services in Sarasota that there really is no excuse. I mean, if you really truly had a desire, if you had a desire to get your medication, your counseling, the VA benefits, the everything there are so many resources allocated to this community that
Sure.
you know, you don't have to pay to stay at the Salvation Army. You just have to. You can stay at the Salvation Army for free if you just say, "I'd like to get the services that I need."
Mm-hmm. Especially the people with chemical imbalances and mental wellness, updated information that they might need.
But just taking that first step, right?
exactly.
Taking that first step, and you're 50% of the way there.
Yes, we must encourage people to take that first step. Sir, do you have any people that you want to recognize for due diligence or a good act award? I know Kyle was doing a great job, by your side.
Kyle, we have so many caring people in this community.
Even the receptionist is awesome.
Yeah,
They're
we
all
have
very
Christina, we have Alexia, we have Marlon Brown.
I told him you're writing one.
Thank you. Okay. I mean, so many people. I mean, just the nonprofits here. So
Yeah. Speaking of nonprofit, my mom, she founded a nonprofit organization, the Lemur Conservation Foundation. You're welcome, Kyle's welcome to come out sometime and see it.
Isn't Elizabeth Moore involved with that?
Yes.
I'm familiar with it.
Mhm.